test one. This one's on. So we don't want this one on for the, you know what I'm saying? Okay. So which, do you want me to put this one here? Yes. Okay. Technical difficulties, my friends. Well, good afternoon and welcome to First Presbyterian Church of Arlington Heights. My name is Christopher Urban. I'm the Associate Director of Music here at First Pres, and it is my privilege to welcome you here for our summer concert series. Just a couple of things before we get started. I want you to be aware that we have a reception following the concert in the parlor. So as you leave the sanctuary, you make a left. There's a reception out there. We are having Presbyterian punch and cookies. You don't want to miss Presbyterian punch. You'll definitely want the secret recipe. I would also encourage you as you leave the sanctuary, you may have noticed when you came in, this is a fully self-funded concert series here at the church. So if you have any ability to give a couple dollars, there's a box as you leave to help us underwrite the concert series and the things that we do here at First Pres around music. And then you'll see in your program, we have, so this has been our summer concert series. We have one concert left on Saturday, July 27th in 2 weeks at 4 p.m. We have been hosting a bassoon camp here all summer. And so in 2 weeks, Andrew Marlin, who's been leading that, will be having the bassoon camp, and all of the performers will be doing their final concert. I don't know what it sounds like to have 20 bassoons playing together. I'm sure it's cool, so you should definitely come and see what that sounds like. And then we are starting our concert series will start in October. We have 2 series that go on. We have a Wednesdays at noon, which features primarily the organ, which starts on October the 2nd at 12 p.m. here in the sanctuary. And then on October the 13th, we will have our opening Sunday afternoon concert at 4 p.m. featuring organ and orchestra. So we'll be doing the Saint-Saëns organ concerto and some other things. That is not in this program. There are blue cards that look like this. I will have them at the reception. That's a good come to the reception, have some punch, meet Myroslav and cookies, and get a blue card and fill it out if you would like to join the mailing list so that you can get the upcoming information of our concert series that starts in October, because we'll be publishing that in August. That's enough of me. I want to welcome Myroslav to our series. Myroslav played here in October this past year, and he actually sent me an email back in March and said, hey, are there any concert opportunities at First Pres this summer? And I said no. And then I got an email from Eddie, from Juilliard, who played our organ recital 3 weeks ago, and Andrew was doing the music bassoon camp, and so all of this came together, and we decided to do a summer concert series. So Myroslav, you can thank for being the one that was the spark and the inspiration to it. Myroslav is currently he's pursuing his bachelor's degree in piano performance at the Peabody Institute of the Johns Hopkins University out in Baltimore. You can read all about him in your program. Without further ado, please give a warm welcome to Myroslav.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. It is my tremendous pleasure to be here and play the second concert at the First Presbyterian Church of Arlington Heights. Chris made a beautiful introduction of me, which I'm very thankful, so I will be very brief. In case some of you don't know, my name is Myroslav Mykhailenko, and I was born in Kyiv, Ukraine. I started playing the piano at the age of 6, and due to very strenuous conditions in Ukraine already back then, my family and I unfortunately had to move to the United States about 7 years ago. At the same time, I'm very pleased and honored to study at the Peabody Conservatory in Baltimore, and I just finished my 2nd year, and here I am today performing and concertizing, so thank you for coming. Regarding today's program, you will hear pieces by Bach, Mozart, and Debussy, as well as one piece by a Ukrainian composer, Mykhailenko, who is regarded as the father of Ukrainian classical music. As you can imagine, this piece is very dear to me because Lysenko is a Ukrainian composer. Yeah, I should also say that in the fall, Chris mentioned this, I performed with my brother, Mykhailenko, who's actually sitting right there. He's the vocalist, and yeah, at that time we had the program together, but today's solo pieces, but it won't be worse, I'm sure. I'm sure you will enjoy it. So, yeah, finally, I just want to thank so much the First Presbyterian Church of Arlington Heights for making this possible. It truly means a lot to me, and I'm so thankful for this opportunity. And I want to thank all of you for coming. It's a great pleasure to see so many faces and such an enthusiastic audience. And yeah, without further ado, let's begin the concert. Oh, thank you. Now, before you actually hear some music, let me just quickly introduce my first piece, okay? So my first piece will be Bach's English Suite number 2 in A minor. The 6 English suites are considered to be the earliest set that Bach has written. Now, you may wonder, why are these suites called English? And the short answer, it remains quite unclear why this is the case. According to the first Bach biographer, Forkel, they were dedicated to an English aristocrat whose name is not given. However, there might be some other reasons too. Despite this title, it is very interesting that the suites are in some ways quote-unquote more French than the so-called French suites, in part because they all start with a prelude. Speaking of my suite, it also begins with a prelude, which was written in the light of an Italian concerto. The reason why it is interesting and important to mention is because we begin with one theme in the first section, then there is the middle section, and then we return to the first theme. And in all of this, you can hear almost the orchestral parts interspersed with the solo part, although I will play all of them by myself on the piano. After the prelude, all the subsequent dances have their own unique characters. For example, Courant being the fast and brisk dance, and Saraband being very expressive. Thank you again for coming, and I hope you will enjoy this English suite by Bach. Thank you. Next in our program, we have Mozart's Piano Sonata number 11. The first movement of this sonata is a theme and variations. And it is already interesting because Mozart defies the convention of beginning the sonata in a more standard way. Let's put it this way. The theme is a Siciliana, which is a slow dance evoking the rocking and pastoral feeling. The second movement contains a standard minuet and a trio. And in the trio, you will see my left hand jump over my right hand quite a lot, like this. Well, while this technique is not something super crazy, I think it's very interesting what effect Mozart achieves with this technique. It is fascinating and charming for me to imagine that when my left hand plays in the high register, this is like one voice. It's bright and possibly young, and when my left hand plays in the lower register, like lower in the keyboard, it's almost like another voice, like old maybe and more booming. Obviously, this is only one interpretation, and you can think about others as well. Finally, the third movement of the sonata, as you probably noticed, is the famous Rondo alla Turca, or Turkish March, which I'm sure many, if not all of you, will recognize. So, hope you will have fun with this sonata. Thank you. Yeah, what a fun sonata by Mozart. Honestly, I did not even know that Rondo alla Turca was part of this sonata. It kind of seemed disjunct at first, but then, I kind of got used to it. But it's really beautiful. Now, onto something much more different. And, when I program these two pieces together, it always amazes me how different the composers are and their music. So it's, a completely different atmosphere. I would like to perform three pieces from the second book of Debussy's Images, or as people usually pronounce it, Images. The first piece is called Clocher à travers le feuille. And by the way, to those who know how to speak French, I apologize for my French pronunciation. I'll do my best, okay? It means bells through the leaves. The sound of bells, which you can hear throughout, plays an important role in this piece. The second piece is titled Et la lune descend sur le temple que fut, and the moon sets over the temple that was. Debussy dedicated this composition to his good friend and biographer Louis Laloy, who is an authority on Oriental music and Greek music. To me, the work evokes images of an ancient temple, perhaps somewhere in Asia or Egypt. Though the mood is kind of up in the air, the piece is nevertheless very expressive and beautiful. Finally, the third piece is titled Poisson d'or, which means goldfish. It is said that the inspiration for this piece was a painting of two gold-colored fish on a small Japanese lacquer that Debussy owned. And whether you imagine it as the real goldfish, as I do, or something else, I think there is no doubt that the music wonderfully reflects the brilliant and darting character of this piece. Hope you will enjoy. Thank you. Thank you. Unfortunately, our concert is approaching the end, and I want to thank you once again for coming. It truly means a lot to me. And in the end, I would like to perform a piece by Mykhailenko, who was a Ukrainian composer and very dear to me. As I mentioned, I was born in Ukraine, obviously, and you know, I wasn't sure exactly how to end the program because I usually like to end on a more positive note, more optimistically, right? But I think this time I'm going to end with the kind of on a sad note because of all the tumultuous events that are happening in Ukraine. You might have heard that there was the bombing of the hospital this week, at the beginning of the week. So, and as well as many other events. So that is why I would like to end on a more pensive note, but please join me at the reception after the concert, and I'll be happy to talk more. The Barcarolle, it's a pensive piece by Mykhailenko. As far as I know, he wrote 2 barcarolles, the other being perhaps the more famous Pливе човен води повен, a boat full of water. And what I noticed in both of these barcarolles is that they possess incredible song-like and pensive qualities. The barcarolle that I will perform for you, it begins kind of very thoughtfully and with melancholy. The middle section, though, it's more bright, and I think there is kind of some moments of hope. Yet what's interesting is that Lysenko always sort of inserts this, like one note, very small detail, but he inserts this note kind of showing that maybe there is some uncertainty or doubt, or maybe this kind of surreal. So again, many interpretations, but the middle section is more, you could say, joyous, but then in the end it returns to the sort of pensive and sad quality to the first theme. So I hope that you will enjoy this barcarolle. As Lysenko, I think he truly meant it to be piano singing, because Ukrainian language is such a songful language, and I can imagine that this is almost like a song in Ukrainian. Hope you will enjoy, and thank you so much.
Thank you all. Myroslav was fantastic, right? Yes. Thank you all for coming. I would encourage you to greet Myroslav as you go out the sanctuary, take a left to the parlor, and he'll be out there to greet and punch you cookies. If you do have a couple dollars, there's a box in the back that we'd appreciate to help support the series. And then if you want more information to be on the mailing list for the future, just come and see me, and I'd give you a blue card to fill out. Thank you again, Myroslav.